All right, today we're going to play detective. But instead of a crime scene, our mystery's hidden in plain sight, right inside the stock chart for Boeing. We're going to decode the story the data is telling us, and along the way, we'll get a masterclass in the language of the market.
So here's the big puzzle. Boeing's stock price has been absolutely soaring, but is this a sign of a healthy, powerful climb, or is it, flying a little too close to the sun? Are we seeing incredible strength, or is the market flashing some serious warning signs?
We can't just guess here. The answers, or at least the clues to the answers, are right there in the data. So let's put on our detective hats and get started.
Okay, so first things first. Clue number 1. We have to figure out the overall direction of the market. Is Boeing flying with a massive tailwind at its back, or is it struggling against a headwind? To figure that out, we're going to use a really fundamental tool.
And that tool is moving averages. I love this analogy. Think of them like the deep, powerful current in the ocean. The daily price swings, those are just the choppy waves on the surface. Moving averages help us ignore that noise and see which way that powerful underlying current is really flowing. And wow, this table right here just lays it all out for Boeing. You can see the current price is way above all the key averages, the short term, the medium term, and the long term. Traders have a name for this. They call it a golden alignment. And it's a really powerful bullish sign because it basically means everyone, no matter their timeline, is on the same page, pushing the stock up. So clue number 1 is crystal clear. The trend is up.
But knowing the direction, that's not the whole story, right? A car can be rolling downhill, or it can be screaming downhill with the pedal to the floor. We need to know the force, the momentum behind this trend. So that leads to our next question. We know it's going up, but how much oomph is behind this move? Is it just kind of drifting upwards, or is this a powerful surge? Let's check out the next piece of evidence.
All right, our next clue is this number, 6.02. On its own, it doesn't really mean much, right? But in our investigation, this is a huge tell. So this number is from an indicator called the MACD. Now, you don't need to know all the math behind it. All you need to know is what it tells us. And a reading this high means that the buyers, the bulls, are not only in complete control, but they're actually hitting the accelerator. The upward momentum is getting stronger.
Okay, next up, we have this number, 37.34. This is another critical piece of the puzzle that backs up what we're seeing.
This is the ADX, the Average Directional Index. And what's cool about this one is that it doesn't care if the price is going up or down. All it measures is the strength of the trend. The general rule of thumb is that anything over 25 means you have a strong trend. So a reading over 37, yeah, that's a very strong trend. The market is moving with some serious conviction. So far, pretty much every clue is pointing in the same direction, right? It's all systems go. But any good detective knows you can't just ignore the evidence that doesn't fit. And in Boeing's case, we've got some pretty loud warning bells going off that we absolutely have to investigate.
So let's lay it all out on our evidence board. In the green lights column, we have a strong upward trend and accelerating momentum. Can't argue with that. But in the yellow lights column, we have some serious warnings. We're seeing multiple overbought signals, which means there's a pretty high risk of a pullback.
So what on earth does overbought actually mean? Think of it like a car engine that's been redlining for the last 10 miles. It's putting out incredible power, but it's also running dangerously hot. An overbought stock is the same thing. It's gone up so far, so fast, that it's probably due for a cool down, a little price drop to catch its breath.
And you can see that warning sign plain as day right here. This is the RSI, or Relative Strength Index, and it's probably the most popular way to spot this condition. The magic number is 70. Once you get above 70, you are officially in the overbought territory, that cautionary zone. And as you can see, Boeing's RSI is at 74.56. It's running hot.
This quote is talking about another indicator called Bollinger Bands. The easiest way to picture them is as a channel that the price usually stays inside of. Well, right now, Boeing's price has shot above the top of that channel. It's like stretching a rubber band. And what happens when you stretch a rubber band too far? It tends to snap back.
So here's the crucial thing. It's not just one signal. We have multiple independent indicators all screaming the same thing. The RSI is over its threshold. The stochastic, which is another momentum gauge, is over its threshold. And the price itself is trading outside its normal range. The evidence is definitely mounting for a potential cool-down period.
Okay, we've laid out all the clues. The bullish ones, the bearish ones, the green lights, and the yellow lights. It's time to bring our investigation to a close. What's the final verdict? And what's the plan?
The verdict really is a blend of everything we've seen. You simply can't ignore how strong this uptrend is. That's the main story. but you also can't ignore the very real risk that the stock has gotten ahead of itself and needs to pull back. So the conclusion is, be bullish, but be cautious. And that leads directly to this game plan. Step 1. The strategy isn't to chase the price and buy right this second. It's to be patient and wait for that potential pullback, to look for an entry in what the analysis calls a buy zone, between 220 and 225. Step 2 is a safety net, a stop loss below 210. And finally, what's the prize if the trend continues? The technical price targets are $232, and after that, maybe even $245.
And that's the story that data's telling us today. It's this fascinating tug-of-war between strength and exhaustion. But always remember, a chart tells you a story of probabilities based on the past. The real world, with its news, its earnings, its surprises, always gets to write the final chapter.
As always, please remember this explainer is just for educational purposes and is definitely not financial advice. Thanks for digging into the data with us. We'll see you next time.